Picture the scene. You're at a remote outpost, or you're exploring some far-off corner of our world, when you notice something that doesn't seem right. Flashing lights, a hovering shadow, a seeming change in air pressure. While some of the most infamous UFO sightings happen in densely populated areas or in known UFO hotspots, many of the most bizarre and intriguing unfold amidst much more isolated circumstances. This is Unveiled, and today we're taking a closer look at UFOs discovered at the very edges of the world. Do you need the big questions answered? Are you constantly curious? Then why not subscribe to Unveiled for more clips like this one, and ring the bell for more thought-provoking content. If you were piloting a UFO, where would you go if you wanted to avoid being discovered? No matter your endgame, how would you hide from watching eyes? Clearly, there are some locations on Earth that are better suited than others. Antarctica is unmatched in terms of mystery and isolation. Humans have only traveled here consistently for the last 200 years. The maximum population today is still just 5,000 people. This puts the whole of Antarctica as roughly on par with an average-sized town, but with those residents scattered across an entire continent. There's an extremely low population density, which means that those who are there have plenty of opportunity to feel as though they're cut off from the rest of civilization. Perhaps UFO sightings are to be expected then, and there certainly have been cases, despite certain aspects of Antarctica also bucking the usual UFO trend. Everyone who does live here is a scientist or researcher, and arguably less likely than some to believe in UFOs to begin with. Airplanes of any sort are a rare sight here, mostly because of the weather conditions and a lack of infrastructure. While some planes do cross Antarctica, usually to ferry those scientists to their stations, there are generally far fewer things in the sky, which means that there are far fewer known aircraft that could be misidentified. And seeing as Antarctica has been demilitarized for decades, there aren't, or shouldn't be, any classified aircraft flying around either. And yet again, various UFO claims have been made. More often than not, Antarctic UFO candidates are located by the watching public rather than those on the ground. Enthusiasts scouring satellite images, usually via Google Maps and Google Earth, for anything seemingly out of the ordinary. For example, in 2018, images of an apparently unusual cylindrical object spotted on Antarctica were posted online. It was long, thin, and had clearly traveled some distance, as you could see a trail made by it in the surrounding snow. Immediately, questions were raised. Could this be a non-human craft? Was it something that had crashed down onto Antarctica? How likely then that it would be photographed? The claims of UFO were loud, although skeptics disagreed. In a wider shot of the object in the snow, there are remnants of a seeming rock slide or avalanche behind it. There were also other similarly shaped objects that just hadn't traveled quite as far. The counter-argument to the UFO claims emerged strongly then, that what the 2018 image actually showed was simply an especially large piece of rock that had slid especially far down along an icy slope. The wider angle images were proof of that, but what do you think? Let us know in the comments. Elsewhere, and there have been other objects spotted from the skies over Antarctica as well. They include more examples of alleged spaceships, including one that did look a lot less like just a natural rock formation and more like a probe or even a lander. Although the consensus is that, as with most similar cases, if there is lost technology on Antarctica, it's almost certainly human-made. Again, there is a human presence there, albeit small, so there's also the chance of materials going astray. More specifically, and again in 2018, there was a lot of attention given to a large UFO that looked on satellite imagery like it had been purposely buried in the snow. However, this particular alien spaceship turned out to be a German research station. Since that station is only intended to be used in the summer, it's known and expected for it to be covered over during the winter, which is why it was built with tall markers designed to stick out from the ground to let returning researchers know where their base is. It's easy to see how these markers could have been misidentified, but there was certainly no alien presence in this case. In fact, it's a known problem that spotting anything with accuracy on Antarctica from above is extremely difficult. When aerial photography is studied for military purposes, it takes special high-level training to correctly discern what those images are truly showing. It's difficult to tell what things are, how big they are, and even what shape they have without the proper experience. So whenever a UFO claim is made based on these means of detection, there's always a straightforward counter-argument for those who are less convinced or for those who flat out disagree. Consider too that Google Maps doesn't even offer an especially high resolution of Antarctica, and it's perhaps easy to see how mistakes can be made and how conclusions drawn can be incorrect. But again, what do you think? How valuable are tools such as satellite imagery in terms of enabling the public to instantly go UFO hunting anywhere in the world? Let us know your opinion. Away from the overhead surveillance, though, and there have been some more concrete otherworldly discoveries on Antarctica as well. The icy South is and has been home to many important meteorites. These flying objects truly do come from different planets, including the notorious Allen Hills 84001 meteor, which was found in Antarctica back in the 1980s. It's generally believed to have come from Mars, but it also remains unique compared to all of our other Martian rock samples. For a while, it was at the heart of a controversy about whether or not it contained fossilized Martian bacteria. Ultimately, there's been no conclusive evidence that it does, although the Allen Hills rock arguably stands as more of an indicator of what else might be hiding in Antarctica as well. There could be many more and similar meteors or other fascinating cosmological relics under the ice waiting to be discovered. With this as a backdrop, then, it's maybe again unsurprising that Antarctica should attract so many UFO theories. But of course, our planet doesn't have just one icy realm. The Arctic Circle in the north is far more populated, and more people means more opportunities to see and report UFOs to begin with. Meanwhile, Google sleuths have triggered debate once again, spotting things on satellite images, such as one still of a strange drone-like object that some said looked a lot like a ship from Star Wars. Bizarrely, there was even a thought that the object looked something like Jesus Christ rising into the air. On the other hand, many argued that it could more simply be a seabird in flight with its wings pointed downwards. Elsewhere in northern Canada, and some pilots recounted seeing a UFO over Nunavut. Strangely, it again happened in 2018. There were multiple credible witnesses of the object, which supposedly changed color while flying through the air. It was reported to the authorities, but the pilots also deemed that the phenomenon probably wasn't anything too concerning. Nor did they blame aliens, instead figuring that their colorful something was more likely another meteorite. We have a history of this kind of occurrence too, although definitely one of the strangest of all time also happened within the Arctic Circle in 1908, the Tunguska event. The Tunguska event was a massive explosion witnessed by very few people because of how isolated the region is, out in the middle of Siberia. Those who did see it, however, saw a huge explosion that destroyed tens of millions of surrounding trees. An entire forest was devastated by something that was truly not of this world and did fly through the sky to reach us. The scientific consensus is that Tunguska was caused by a meteor airburst, where a large asteroid explodes while in Earth's atmosphere, or indeed while in the atmosphere of any planet if the conditions are right. A similar event happened again in Russia back in 2013, the Chelyabinsk meteor. But there's something about Tunguska in particular that continues to capture the imagination. Perhaps because it happened so long ago and records are scarce, perhaps because it's been covered time and time again in fiction, maybe because Tunguska is just the ultimate meeting between space, ice, and the unknown. And so, from some blistering space rock to some tantalizing Antarctic aerial images, those are the most bizarre UFOs discovered at the edge of the world. What do you think? Is there anything we missed? Let us know in the comments. Check out these other clips from Unveiled, and make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for our latest content.